guys, to everyone. It's Sada from Posendrock, and we give a welcome back to Tony from The Hunt. We worked a couple of a month, month, not even a month, maybe. We did the first interview, and now we are here. First of all, Tony, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be back and to talk to you
Yeah.
again about the new single.
Yeah, because one of the things that I think like we thought like just for not only for fun, but because I think it's also interesting not only living, like all the like after 6 month interview and then not having maybe a deeper, like look at the music and the songs,
Mhm.
and also maybe giving a little bit of comparing to the two songs because they will be part of a full length. So it's we're getting the job done before the release. So we will cover this song anymore. But congratulations, because last Friday is out, the views are going great, people are loving Onslaught, and why not fire this time on the video?
This one felt maybe a little different. Yeah, we wanted a different kind of color scheme for this one that was very different from
Yeah,
Erratic. Um,
yeah,
I feel the song is pretty different from Erratic. I feel Erratic is very aggressive, very in your face and fast and kind of it's a shorter song and faster, and Onslaught to me is a little more vibey, a little more thought out. There's a lot more guitar kind of
yeah.
interplay. Um, there's some interesting things going on in the background with like some choir kind of things happening. It's some clean vocals that are kind of layered in the background and a lot more gang vocals. So there's just kind of a lot like more going on, I feel like,
And
in
then
this
you
song.
became atmospherical goth.
Exactly.
You kind of gave a more like a atmospherical way that also could be intended as a more like a way to connect the mind in more into the song, like emphasizes this, let's say, choirish vibe with the more the soul itself, because the lyrics are always tough, but introspective also, yes.
Yeah, I mean this one's an interesting song for sure. I mean, I feel like it has a couple themes, but I think the main theme
Yeah,
of the song is conflict. It's basically kind of looking at conflict and
yeah, all over the
rising to the occasion, facing conflict, kind of not avoiding it, but yeah, kind of, embracing the
yeah,
inevitable conflicts that all of us have every day,
the daily conflict. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whether that's, just personal kind of stuff, business stuff, or, we all deal with some level of resistance and struggle every day. And, we
And
all
we
have to
can,
deal with conflict.
yeah, and sometimes you have to stay silent because we have to act as the good ones, and then never say what we think, never do what we just lay in a corner and just move like ships in the crowd.
Yeah. Even picking your fights, choosing which conflicts to engage in. It's like
Yeah.
it's a constant kind of thing that happens. So you kind of, throughout your day, you realize like this is worth, bringing up and talking about. This isn't. I'm going to not talk about this, these kind of things are constant in our lives. So I think Onslaught is it's kind of addressing maybe bigger conflicts
Okay.
that arise throughout life. And
Okay. Then throughout the day, maybe could be like, whether I choose cereal or I don't know, porridge. I have an idea. Just or bacon. I mean, that's not even a conflict. There's an obvious.
no, for some people,
Yeah, if you're honest.
conflict's different for everybody. Everybody has a different life, but I
Yeah, of
think
course.
I think we all deal with that, and we all decide and what's important to us and what's worth conflict, I guess.
Yeah, and especially because I think also the word conflict may be also um, explain itself, because sometimes we think that something is a conflict, but it's not. We created the conflict inside us.
In your head,
Exactly.
you know,
So that's the first conflict to that arises, that it should be kind of unsolved
the
inside.
inner conflict. Yeah, I mean,
That's gonna
there's
last forever.
it's true. No, it's so true. So I think Onslaught is partly about looking at conflict and embracing it in a way that kind of helps you move forward. When you avoid conflict, it usually doesn't help you move forward. It's
Oh, no,
sometimes just kind of kicking the can down the road kind of thing.
yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but I think, in our best, in the best version of ourselves, we want to approach every conflict, in a
so
logical and like kind of level-headed manner. And even though it may seem negative and feel negative at the time, some conflicts do, you can take positives out of it. And I think,
exactly.
at least for myself, with like bigger conflicts in my life, I can kind of look back and like, okay, that kind of gave me focus. That kind of put me on a path of like, okay, that wasn't ideal. And like
Yeah,
what can we take from that and how can we move forward
yeah,
and how can we
I
be
can.
better?
Yeah, that's worth it for conflict, for negative experiences, which are most of the time a result of conflict. If you don't face them, that's what they bring.
Yeah,
It's just taking the positive or at least the most functional aspect of it and moving forward with that because I mean at least make you stronger because you don't if you don't face the conflict or the problems or any decision you have to you will find in front of you, it doesn't matter what. I mean and then what you or it doesn't solve yourself or if
can't avoid forever.
it would be
Yeah,
a worst outcome because I
exactly.
think it's the fear we have to like how do we face it and what if it goes that way what if it goes it's the fear of choosing that
Exactly.
and keeping our mind in a path is like having the idea a way of being that of course can change idea after 3 months about and maybe in another conflict facing in a different way we
Mhm.
have we have so many fear of acting fear of changing idea because how the world works or you're here you can't be in between colors.
Exactly.
That's how
No,
black and white. Yeah,
you said it. And that's kind of like that's exactly how the song starts. The lyrics, it's like no time,
no refusing.
no refusing what must be done.
Yeah,
So
our
it's like
passion of
that's
power of blood. But let's keep it. It's not we don't mean it literally, even if it could happen. We are just meaning like about inside because
exactly.
we
It's
bleed inside. Yeah,
everything's kind of with conflict there's a power struggle and
yeah,
there's always a little kind of give and take there, but I think yeah, I mean that's the
yeah,
beginning of the song really frames it in a way that's like, okay, we're
yeah.
gonna face this. Like there's no refusing what must be done. And that's
Exactly.
what I try to practice every day. So that's an
Yeah.
important line for me. Yeah.
And when you talk about the conscience that's laid
Yeah.
buried wide, it's beautiful. I mean, what is
Oh,
natural
thanks.
buried across the mountain pass.
Yeah.
He said that for like taking a decision, put your conscience away, like you could.
Something like that. I think that line specifically is kind of talking about, yeah, like reflecting on what's about to happen. I mean, what you're about to go do. It's like I think we have moments of hesitation maybe of like,
Yeah,
is this right? Is this wrong? I know I have those kind of thoughts. So I think
yeah.
part of that is kind of like
And then
that moment before you engage in the conflict or you
where you can get back.
again, I don't mean it so much in like an aggressive way, but like,
No, but I got it.
are you going to address this? Are you going to face this? Are you going to,
Yeah.
step forward? And so that's kind of what that line's about. It's like, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but you know what? I'm not going to sit in this struggle. Like, I'm going to move forward. It's not going to last. I'm going to move
Yeah,
forward.
no, exactly. Also, because when you have to think about doing, because we are talking about facing melee conflicts,
Mhm,
and even a decision, sometimes you have to put because our conscience always try to give us our mind point of view, which is subjective.
mhm.
It's you have to put that aside and try to look at with a cold blood. I don't know. I look like we are in, but that's kind of true because otherwise we always will avoid because it could happen that in a conflict you might end up even not voluntarily to hurt someone. Of course, we're not talking physically. We're talking about hurting someone we love, but sometimes there's no choices. You have your shoulder on a
There's,
wall.
it's true. And, I'm definitely talking about physical conflict as well, because that's
Yeah,
something I've had to deal with in my life at least. And,
I live.
you
Yeah,
know, It's
Yeah.
not something you always choose,
No,
but sometimes, there's been times in my life where I've had to deal with that.
what do you do then?
And what do you do? It's like in those extreme kind of situations that I've been in before. It's like
it's life. Yeah, it's a matter of life,
yeah,
though. A survival
it
to
it
survive.
can, it
Life.
can yeah, it's true. And it can be a conflict of power and blood, like really.
Yeah, no, no, that's for sure. I mean, I think that we turn to be new. I don't know what is going on in this country, in this island. We have kind of we are not legal. We don't have legal weapon here, so I don't
Yeah,
know how these new kids, like they turned out not even out of the teenage, have
yeah,
guns and killed in the middle of, in the center of the monuments whatsoever,
yeah.
killed other kid, and it's like
Horrible.
they're forcing the city to not allow everyone who has I don't know, that has been convicted even once, to not go allowed inside the center, which is something crazy, like just to avoid fights, to avoid so it's also a matter of life and death going to the center
Yeah,
of the city,
it's true.
just
Yeah.
just to have a beer. You have to, like, okay, wait, I'm gonna survive tonight or not.
Yeah,
And
big
how
cities.
yeah, that's I mean, that's the only way that we can do legally is with a fight, but we should train for that. Not every, and you can't escape
Yeah,
for the war.
it's true.
Yeah,
We do our best to avoid these things, but it's an inevitable part of life. It comes up, and
yeah,
sometimes you can't avoid it. So I think that's again, it's about facing those times, not running from them when they arise, not looking for them, but
exactly.
facing them when they come.
Especially I think what we talk now, and especially what we um, kind of yeah talk now about is you wrote down, like because I'm going to read, like, exactly, weaving in and out of harmony. No, sorry, it's not a struggle of heart and mind,
Mhm.
because it's a struggle of what you have to do, but of course it doesn't
It's
last.
true.
It's not gonna
I,
last.
it's yeah. I mean, I feel like you can take that in a lot of ways, but for me, even it's like sometimes when I've been in those situations and had to get into, real fights and stuff like that, it's like sometimes you win the fight, but you don't feel good after. So,
Like,
you
when,
know,
yeah, it's not an MMA fight that you're
it's not,
talking
yeah,
about. Let's say to the people, these are what, like, literally when you are outside
yeah,
and you're forced to,
defend yourself.
yeah, defend,
It's,
exactly, defend yourself.
yeah,
These things
go
happen.
your way.
Yeah, defend yourself, defend the people next to you, because injustice happen all the time, and you
Exactly.
can stay there and sit when injustice happen. Then what changes? Nothing changes. People will do it again because they do it no matter
So,
what. So
exactly. It's unfortunate, but it's a
yeah.
reality.
No, no,
So,
yeah, that it's unfortunate because these things should never happen in the first time,
uh,
but first place. But we know that, and here, this, I think we're a little bit cynical, but I'm okay with it.
yeah.
Nothing will ever happen no matter what. They always happened, and then we will always happen. So if you don't learn, I think, also to how to defend yourself,
Oh, yeah.
you will never be able to get out, which is also verbally and sometimes also have a physical defense. Be able to stand
Feel,
for yourself.
yeah, I feel it helps you be when you know a little bit about how to defend yourself, it helps you be more at ease, more comfortable just in every setting. And
Exactly. Yeah,
when you're not worried about stuff, you have more energy to be kind and to
yeah,
actually be present. So
yeah. But then again, you're less kind of towards Lenny, because these things also think, and of course, because when you have to deal with conflict and all the time to to defend yourself, it's like you're like on guard when you're outside, and sometimes this can diminish also the trust in the other people.
exactly. That's exactly kind of what I meant a
Yeah,
second.
that's how the
Totally.
time they said to me, "Why you don't
Yeah.
trust about people?" I said, "I
Oh,
don't
that
know,
was
I
perfect.
can't."
That was perfect. And again, I've trained in my life. I know people who have trained a lot more, but the one thing I can say is people that do have that level of knowledge and skill,
Yeah,
it's just there's an air of ease about them,
yeah,
and
exactly.
they just know that they can handle themselves. So there's nothing to really worry about. And I think it gives you more energy to just be present and not worried about what could happen if this happens or this or
No,
that.
no,
It's
I know, no, that's
we're just here and we're comfortable and whatever comes up, we're gonna handle it. So it's
I
all good.
I can, I mean, I think I can be able to defend myself, but I saw people in my life that were doing even MMA, which is a, you know, and when they were, we were around, they were like, so at ease, like, oh, it doesn't matter, just one, like, okay, bye, see you soon. Like, just, they don't even have to attack, just to push, and they were outside of the other part of the sidewalk.
Mm.
Just, or even if you go, even with your own personality, if you just go silent with your face literally blank, sometimes it's even enough that, depending, of course, if you are like, depending also how do you present yourself, because if you're there not sure, if you present that uncertainty, it's not good, that's not going to help. But you also mentioned in the song "We Are," which is but like with a cap, gigantic cap of like cap,
Yeah.
the filthy few. Who are these filthy few? We are who?
So I think part of what, part of this theme of conflict and kind of just daily conflict for all of us. In a way, I'm framing this as
Yeah,
like there's a oh, I'm sorry, I'm just
yeah,
trying to
good.
there's a parallel to like a mosh pit.
Okay,
So when I'm talking about we are the filthy few, it's kind of like I'm on stage and I'm looking at the mosh pit and I'm seeing these people that in a way are facing conflict
yeah,
and they're directly involved in it. And also, I'm kind of saying that in a way, it's like, hey, it's me and my band. It's me and my guys. Like, we are the filthy few, and we're going to face the conflict and we're going to deal with it. And,
mm,
I can see the onslaught, breathe it in. Like, we're not going to run. We're not going to, avoid this. This is kind of like,
of course,
you know, it's facing conflict with your brothers,
yeah.
with your bands, with the people
Just,
you trust. And I think that's can be very powerful as well, in a lot of ways in life.
yeah, because this, it could be applied so many young group of teenager, like we were saying, because these are the needs most education in this field,
No.
that are going on outside still at school, and that the bullyism, for example, that's a big conflict. They have
Oh,
to do it when they see themselves literally smashed into, what do I do? How they got, with a friend, how do we face this?
yeah.
So that is
Having a
a
friend
great,
helps. Yeah.
yeah,
Even just having one friend helps.
yeah,
But yeah, I think sometimes it having a friend there to help you face something will help you face it, when maybe you wouldn't have by yourself.
exactly.
So yeah, there's strength in brotherhood, there's strength in loyalty and people that
Well,
you love, trust. And I think that you need to lean on those people and
yeah,
band together to face common conflicts or your own conflicts together. I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, but and I think that what I like really about the lyrics is just that it's going kind of a crescendo, because you start like literally saying, okay, this is it, and then you're gonna unraveling the what is about you have to do for facing the conflict. It's just lay your conscience away, and because we are these people, and then also you ask, what will you do sacrifice? What will you sacrifice for it? So what
mhm,
do you do?
exactly.
So you're also asking, not saying, you're
Yeah,
asking to the person, what will you do in order to do that?
it's
So
true. Because
yeah,
I mean, I think that's maybe not always how we think about it, but it's like, what are you willing, like, how uncomfortable are you willing to get to the next level, to figure
exactly.
this out, to get past whatever you're facing, whatever problem, issue, moment in life.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's kind of like you can do this, but what will you do?
yes, exactly. Because also that, because each of us have always to sacrifice. I mean, we sacrifice things that we don't know.
Exactly.
We have no idea when we sacrifice things.
Oh,
Sometimes, how many people get out our life because it's our decision? How many things we lose because that's not something that we can control. So sometimes we need to have the control on something. That's for our mind and body. It's for our safety, our mental health and physical health.
yeah.
Otherwise, we would never be able, I think, in older stage of life, to deal with life itself.
So true.
This is just a smaller conflict we're facing now, I guess. Just imagine 20 years by now, what are gonna be the problem? What's are gonna be the problem? Can just
There's
be
always going to be more.
yeah, There's
Always gonna
no,
be something else. Yeah. So it's
yeah,
like you're totally right. It's like we sacrifice things without even unintentionally, without unconsciously.
yeah,
So what are you gonna sacrifice to get something you want, to get through something you're going through that you can't avoid?
exactly.
So I think that's kind of, yeah, it's putting it in,
Yeah.
you completely understood that.
Yeah, and of course, if you just gonna do to sacrifice something and move through the conflict, it will fortifies you first, because there's not only, because people may think, oh, it's all negative. Is, of course, there's a part that is about difficulties. It's not about being negative. It's difficult. That's of
Yes.
course, but at the same time, you will get at some time you will get used to it. So if you learn what when to present again, it will be a little bit easier to find,
So
at least see it with objectively, and just
you
learn that
totally get it.
everything in life comes and go. There's no there's a that there's a certain, but also the positive thing, you'll gain strength. I mean, and you really gain strength after you face a lot of conflict. You will really gain strength.
It's true. You got to face them because you get
Yeah,
stronger and there's
yeah,
always going to be more. There's always going to be the next one, always going to be something else.
and
So,
one thing that I learned in my own skin, facing conflict, that I didn't even think that I should have to face as a per human being, is that I look myself today, and when there is a new conflict or a new, even a challenge, I just stop and I think, well, wait a minute. I was this I why I'm scared. I went through that. I experienced that. It was way
mm,
worse. I was just something that this decision that or this conflict that you have to face. So this also teaches you that you go maybe went through all worse, way worse things than they are actually going now. So
yeah,
yeah, that's
be strong. You got to take the positive out of the negatives.
exact
It's like
always.
there's always going to be, light. That's the way life is, there's always going to be something to work through, get through, level
Yeah,
up. You got to
yeah,
face it. Yeah,
exactly.
got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, and of course I was wondering, where is these redwoods? What are these redwoods? Nature. I mean, you put nature. Of course, I'm gonna ask.
Yeah. So the band, our hometown is called Redwood City
Okay.
in Northern California. So
Okay.
yeah, there's some nature imagery there, maybe because I was thinking about that while I was writing the song, or
About those woods surrounding the.
yeah, I do a lot of thinking in the woods, and there's a giant mountain pass that
Yeah.
you can take an exit, and it's a giant mountain that goes down into Redwood City. So that's maybe what I'm talking about there with the
It's
that
maybe also the
specific
mountain
one.
pass. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Those, including a little also part of the place you live. I don't know if you grew up also there, but the place where you're living,
Yeah.
and kind of, because meaning that literally also then can say also a little bit the nature, the nature around you influence
Hmm.
your ways of writing, because
Absolutely.
in that way
Yeah.
there is strength.
Yeah, I think growing up, I loved black metal and everything so much, and it was just all these guys hanging out in the woods. And so we did that. We did our own version of that in the redwoods. And
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
But IQ didn't do. It's not because black metal is not a good genre, but it's always better having the doors open for different
yeah,
influences.
we were inspired. Yeah,
You were
but the nature thing is very important to me. I definitely hung out in the woods a lot when I was a younger person. So
yeah, of course.
yeah.
Of course, and and of course when you, and I mean, and there is also this, like, also you, of course, we just for people that really like fear not that, we're not talking about violent, we're just talking about literally life itself.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
really what I like is like when you said like to resist, to regroup, to
Mhm.
fortify your souls, to not give
Mhm.
up, to protect your own. I mean, it's so important, because it's like it looks literally like a act of rebellion, almost like, okay, I'm gonna go and rebel at myself. Could
Love
even
that.
be, just could even
It's
be to rebel to your friends.
yeah. I mean, that whole middle section is probably the most important part of the song to me. But Yeah, it's like I said, with your friends, with the people you love
Yeah,
that and you trust. It's like resist the negativity, regroup together, fortify your soul. That's one of my favorite lines I've ever written. I love that.
45 years old.
Fortify your soul. And that's kind of what you're doing by facing conflict, by
Yeah,
for exactly what you just said. You get stronger from doing those things. So you look back and you're like, you know what? What I'm dealing with now is nothing compared to this, and this that I did. To me, that's fortifying your soul and you're becoming stronger. And
protecting your own, because what you have,
oh,
you build it from all those conflicts solved or unsolved, or all the sweat and pain that you get at. So what you have, if you feel in a place of peace, you have to
exactly.
protect it. But we are talking about everything, just mentally, whatever. Even your freedom, your habits, everything that make you feel good. Protect your own, no matter what, and never allow that someone take that away.
Exactly. You can take that so many ways, but I think it's powerful. It's really powerful. It's like whatever
Yeah,
is yours and what's the most important to you, protect it.
yeah, of course. That's and I learned that. I always thought about that too, like because when you grow up sometimes you're too young and you can't even to completely erase yourself for even for friends, for relationship, and you just lose yourself, and then you have to build up again, and then you lose yourself again. But when you
Yeah.
stand up like a lone wolf for a long time,
Yeah.
you really build your own. And then as something that I learned at the gym, and the gym was my first own,
Yeah.
was that no matter how I felt, it doesn't matter how I felt, how I was feeling tired, I had to keep that on going.
Yeah.
That helped me discipline, at least for me.
Discipline. Yeah.
Yeah. And now if I don't go, I feel like I feel something is missing. It's like my
Yep.
time.
Oh, yeah.
It's my time when I am just me, my head, and I can focus and forget everything. And it changed the mood, switch the mood. So even one small
Absolutely.
habit to protect it, because
Protect it.
when you
Yeah.
learn how to protect yourself, even yourself, your mental space and sanity, it's
Yeah.
you can deal with a lot of things. But it's not easy for people that think that they have maybe younger because it takes time. Sometimes there are younger people that are really stronger than I was when they were my age, which is amazing for them, but the time are different away, of course, since a couple of years ago. But also
Yep.
that the whole meaning of onslaught is just giving in your own word. If we have to put it really like in a phrase, or really like I don't want to say in a summary, in a syntax, in a phrase, how could it be for you from your point of view, of course?
Onslaught is about facing conflict, seeking victory, and fortifying your soul.
That's perfect. And I also love about this song compared to the other one, because in the other one there was also about this being yourself and showing your vulnerability. So you were talking about also no matter what, showing your vulnerability, especially if you're a man, because we talk about that stigma that always, as you as a man, has to survive as a if you're
Yep.
too vulnerable, you're too weak. But here it says also, but don't forget that sometimes that kind of strength, it has to be taken. This can be applied for women too. We
Absolutely.
don't have to be worried about being strong or just to exercise ourselves too much. It's not.
It's true. No,
Yeah,
the song's for everybody. I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely written from my point of view, but I feel like everybody can apply it because we all deal with conflict.
yeah,
We all have points in our life where it's difficult,
yeah,
where
exactly.
it's like you got to grow or shrink. And, you got to choose growth. You got to face stuff. You got to just, keep
Yeah,
moving forward.
exactly.
I
Especially
think
older. Yeah, sorry, you think.
I was just gonna say that the next line is probably like the nucleus of the song, but you know, you're given life meaning,
Conflict bring
what
us,
brings us focus.
yeah, because it
Like,
brings you up there.
and sometimes, back to reframing through conflict, it's kind of like
Yeah,
I've gone through bigger conflicts in my life and it's made me literally contemplate like my path. Like, what is my
exactly.
purpose? So
exactly.
the line before, it's like, have you ever had the feeling of understanding your purpose?
Yeah.
And so it's really kind of just
It's said that's where it comes the introspection. It comes in this almost in the end of the song, in the center,
Mhm.
final part of the song, where he's saying, "Hey, don't forget. Maybe you start the conflict, but here you keep your mind, your focus on."
Exactly. So it's all connected. But yeah, that to me is an important message, and I really like that about the song. So I hope people can listen to it and relate to that.
I think they already are liking it. And of course, I mean, it's been released like last week, of course. So let's give the time to the people a little bit to enjoying. But before going towards the end, of course I will ask you the question that everyone asks: what's next for the hunt?
The next video, next song is coming out next month, November.
Okay.
I'm very excited about this because this is the first one that is features a good amount of clean vocals.
Okay, so there's gonna be something to talk about the sound then next month.
Oh yeah. To me, it's very like Soilwork meets Gojira, kind of.
I'm
So
curious about that now to see this kind of melting pot of.
yeah,
Ooh,
it's
that's
pretty rad. So it's got a really cool riff. The song is called Adapt.
okay,
And
okay. That's you're giving a hint, kind of to
uh,
adapt, Onslaught, erratic. Okay, we're almost
get a theme here. Yeah.
okay. We're gonna almost going to find out the meaning of the album, but then there's time now. And of
Yeah.
course, like we were saying, like the album will be out on the new year, of course. But there
Yeah.
was still time for that because we want to give people a focus on each song,
On each single. Yeah,
and there
exactly.
they can sit after the album is gonna be released. They can sit and listen us talking about each remaining song. Or
Exactly.
we will split it in two because we will never be able to do it in not even 1 hour.
Exactly.
So, Tony, really was a pleasure again, diving deep, really, and I really like the topic you talk about because it's not only from your only point of view, it's the point of view the collectivity, it's the point of view of the world, that something that we all face, and I like you have a good storytelling writing skill, but we talk also about that.
Thank
So
you so much.
see you next month, and I will have also piece of cake because we're gonna be my birth. So we will
Yes.
around their dates.
I'll get a cupcake with a candle and we can have a little birthday party Zoom.
I'm counting on that.
All
So
right.
thank you so much. It was always a pleasure seeing you, and have
Thank
a good rest of the day and enjoy California for me. I will be there
I
one day
will.
soon. I will be there.
Thank you so much, Ad. I really appreciate your time and yes, thank you so much for supporting the band. It means a lot. And thank you.
Always, always, of course. And I will never stop doing that. Like I said, I will be in California sooner or later. I will be.
Well, we will hang. I'll take you to lunch. We'll hang out. Absolutely. I
I
look
mean,
forward to that.
if this is I was 12 since I had this dream, so I yet to be there. I made a promise
Okay.
to myself. I already achieved a little bit one. This is the last dream that I've left.
If I can help in any way, let me know.
Of course, I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Good
Have
to
a good
see
rest
you.
of the day. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Narrator